Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, Carnival Cruise Line is back in court and this time they're being sued because a woman claims that her husband passed away and she was diagnosed by a doctor without the proper credentials to practice medicine on a Carnival cruise ship. What? So a woman has claimed that Carnival hired a doctor that was not licensed to practice medicine on one of their ships. She says that her husband went and saw the doctor when he wasn't feeling well with all kinds of chest problems and breathing problems and basically was told to go for 24 hours bed rest. Then after the 24 hours were up, they were arriving in Cozumel. They decided, they checked with the doctor, should you be re-examined and everything? The doctor said, no, you're fine, go ahead. Sure enough, they went ashore and the husband ends up passing away in Mexico. Later they found out that the doctor apparently doesn't have the proper credentials to work on a Carnival cruise ship. Now, Carnival Cruise Line has come out and they have said, that the doctor has worked in a medical facility that did 300 patients a day in an emergency situation for 3 years, and he's done this, and he's done that, and he's done this, and he's fully qualified. And they said to the judge, please throw this, this case right out of court because it doesn't have any merit. And the judge said, wait a minute, nothing of what you have said to us has told us that the doctor actually has the medical certificates and licensing that he's supposed to have. You just said that he worked in these places. You have not stated that he actually has the licensing. So this case is going forward. So Carnival lost their throw out a case battle right off the bat, which is good news for the widow, not so great news for Carnival. Now, if this turns out to be the case where the doctor did not have the proper documentation to be actually practicing medicine on the Carnival cruise ship, and Carnival went ahead and hired this doctor knowing this full well, it doesn't matter that somebody passed away or not, they could be liable for huge lawsuits. So I really suspect that this will be thrown not thrown out of court, but will be settled out of court rather quickly before any class action lawsuits come Carnival's way. And I imagine Carnival will be looking at their medical facilities and their medical staff and double checking crossing the T's and dotting those I's to make sure everyone is completely qualified, because this is a whole can of worms. So let's find out exactly what a doctor with Carnival Cruise Line is supposed to have as far as documentation to legally work on the cruise ship. So here's what the law states, in case you're wondering. I'll read it verbatim. It says, even on the cruise line's medical background documentation, that doctors are required to have current valid license from the U.S., one of its territories, or Canada, or have full registration with the medical council in their native country, which we identify as having medical training and standards that meet the guidelines of the American College of Emergency Physicians. Now, here's what Carnival says. Well, he has worked in a hospital within the emergency department and daily turnover rate of 300 patients for 3 years. And previously to being hired at Carnival, Mandy reportedly worked at a high, full-fledged facility with advanced medical care. Having worked at a place does not mean you're licensed to practice medicine. Having worked as a doctor in some cases still doesn't mean you're licensed to practice as a doctor. So it kind of sounds to me that just because you're working there doesn't mean you have the medical, I might be a very good person who could litigate. I'm a good arguer. I can make my case very, very well. Does that mean I'm a qualified lawyer and I can just go down to court and start defending people on murder? Because, I'm pretty good at it. No, it's not the way this works. And if Carnival thinks this is the way it works, they could be under an awful lot of investigations of all their medical staff, on their fleet, their entire fleet. And this could come with ramifications right down the cruise line industry, because it is by law that these people have to have this documentation. It's not, it's clear, black and white. Your feelings that they're qualified don't matter. The fact that you don't have the license is what matters. If you go to your go to the police station when you get pulled over for driving without a license and you say, well, I've been driving for 10 years, I've never had an accident, I'm fine. Does the judge go, okay then, we'll forget about you needing a license, don't worry about it? No, you're being fined or you're going to jail. So I don't know where Carnival is going to come across and have a defense here, because what I've seen so far is not a defense, it's an excuse. And that's not a defense. And I have a feeling this case will be quickly settled out of court, and that doctor will have their medical degree or be gone before you know it, because this could be millions and millions of dollars if the lawsuit goes through. Because if that doctor is found to not be able to practice medicine on the cruise ship and not legally be told to work there, and Carnival legally did it, then even if that doctor is not responsible, they are in some way connected to the person passing away, because they could not provide any medical, diagnosis. They should not have been the person to look after this person, and another doctor might have caught what was wrong with the gentleman before he passed away. This is a heck of a can of worms out there. I don't know what Carnival is going to do. I don't know how they're going to defend, but what I saw in their defense argument so far of, well, they worked in that location, that's not going to hold water. That will not fly in a court of law. Courts of law go after the fact. And your feelings and your emotions and your thought processes is blind by justice. What they want to know is the facts. Did he have a license of one of these places? Canada, United States, territory? Was he licensed in his home country? No. But he worked at a hospital judge. So what? Am I wrong here? Or do you guys think, no, he was working there. It's okay. He has the experience. I have a feeling most of you are going to say, just because you're working there doesn't mean nothing without that piece of paper saying you're a qualified medical practitioner. I think Carnival is going to have an uphill battle here. Let me know what you guys think down below, and it really is a very interesting case. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.